The Social Security Administration just confirmed a brand new rule that goes into effect on January 1st, and the surprising part is this. Before your next payment is released, SSA says you must do one thing first, one required step, one small action that could decide whether your January money arrives smoothly or whether your check gets delayed, held, or flagged. Most people will only hear about this after something goes wrong, but you are hearing it early, and trust me, this gives you a major advantage heading into the new year. Because here's the truth. Social Security doesn't change rules lightly, and they don't send out warnings unless something big is happening behind the scenes. And right now, something did change. A lot of people think that January 1st is just the start of a new calendar year. But for Social Security, it's the reset point. It's the moment when new income limits kick in, reporting rules shift, Medicare deductions update, and benefit calculations adjust. And this year, SSA added one more requirement on top of all that. And yes, it affects retirees, SSI, SSDI, survivors, and even people on spousal benefits. No group is completely untouched. That's why this message is so important. Now, before you panic, let me walk you through what's happening. SSA quietly rolled out this update in their internal guidance, and only a small portion of the public has noticed, but the impact is real. Whether you get your money on the 1st, the 3rd, or the Wednesday schedule, this new rule could change the timing of your January payment. For some people, it could even change the amount. And the biggest shock, SSA says the responsibility starts with you, not your bank, not your representative payee, you. If you don't complete this one step before January 1st, your payment may not process on time. And here's the part that worries me the most. A lot of people assume everything in their file is already correct. They assume SSA has their latest details. But after the last year of system updates, office backlogs, and new verification requirements, millions of accounts are now showing outdated or incomplete information. That's why SSA issued a simple but urgent instruction. Do this first, do it before January 1st, and make sure your benefits are protected before the rule kicks in. In a moment, I'm going to explain exactly what changed, why it changed, and what you need to do right now to avoid any interruption. But first, understand this. January 1st is coming fast, and once the new rule activates, any missing information could automatically slow down your payment. Now, let's go deeper into what's really behind this change. Now, let's break down exactly what changed, because this is where the real story begins. For the last several months, SSA has been updating internal systems, adjusting verification tools, and preparing for the new year. On the surface, nothing looked unusual, but behind the scenes, something big was happening. A new federal compliance rule kicked in, and it required Social Security to tighten how they confirm beneficiary information before releasing payments. This wasn't a public announcement. It wasn't on the news, but it showed up in the way SSA field offices suddenly began flagging accounts, sending verification letters, and requesting updated details from millions of people across the country. And now we know why. January 1st is the activation date. This is when everything changes, when the systems switch over, and when the new verification protocols go live across the entire Social Security network. Here's the key point. SSA found that a huge number of beneficiary files contained outdated bank information, missing income or resource updates, old phone numbers, or unverified identity details that don't match the new system requirements. And if even one piece of information is out of date, the new rule requires SSA to pause the payment until the file is corrected. This isn't optional. It's not something a caseworker can override. It's built into the system now. This is especially true for SSI recipients because SSI rules are tied to income limits, resource checks, and monthly reporting requirements that are stricter than other benefit programs. But SSDI, retirement, survivor, and spousal benefits are not exempt. In fact, some of the biggest delays last year happened in Social Security disability insurance files that hadn't been updated in years. People assumed their information was still current, but the system had flagged discrepancies they didn't even know existed. Now here's the twist. SSA didn't design this rule to punish anyone. They created it because the old system allowed errors to slip through for months or even years. Wrong bank routing numbers, outdated addresses, incorrect Medicare premium deductions. And when the system is wrong, the beneficiary suffers. Checks bounce, payments go missing, and people spend weeks trying to fix something that could have been corrected in 5 minutes if they had known about it sooner. So SSA made a decision. Before entering the new year, every beneficiary must have a clean, verified file. And to make that happen, they rolled out a new January 1st rule that requires one confirmation step from you before your payment can be processed. Think of it this way. If you've moved, changed banks, added a payee, switched Medicare plans, or had any income changes this year, your file may already be out of date. And because SSA systems are now scanning millions of accounts at once using automated tools, any mismatch could trigger an automatic hold. But here's the part nobody is talking about. This isn't just about preventing errors. This is part of Social Security's new modernization timeline. Over the next 2 years, SSA will rely more heavily on automated verification. That means the system checks you, not an employee manually reviewing your file. And automation is strict. It doesn't guess. It doesn't assume. If something doesn't match, it stops the payment on the spot. There's no human discretion in the initial stages anymore. This is why January 1st matters so much. Once the automated checks activate under the new rule, your file has to be accurate down to the smallest detail. If it's not, you could easily be one of the millions wondering why their payment didn't arrive on schedule. And that brings us to the most important part of this update, what you actually need to do before January 1st to make sure your benefits continue without interruption. That's what we're going into next. So, now let's talk about the part everyone wants to know. What exactly does SSA want you to do before January 1st? What is this one required step they're warning people about? The answer is simple, but the impact is huge. SSA wants every beneficiary to confirm or update their information before the new rule activates. And yes, this includes your bank details, your address, your phone number, your income or resources if you're on SSI, and even your Medicare premium deduction status. One missing update, one outdated detail, even a small typo in your bank routing number can cause your January payment to pause under the new system. And here's the truth most people don't realize. Social Security doesn't need your whole life story. They just need your file to match their new verification tools. If something doesn't match, the new rule forces the system to flag your account. It doesn't matter if you've been receiving benefits for 5 years or 50. If your information doesn't align with the updated database, the payment stops until you fix it. Let me walk you through how this could play out in real life. Imagine someone on SSI who hasn't reported a new bank account because they thought it didn't matter since the payment was still going through. The old system might have let that slide for a month or two while they processed paperwork. The new system won't. It will instantly see the mismatch, automatically mark the file incomplete, and hold the payment until the discrepancy is resolved. Or picture a retiree who switched Medicare plans during open enrollment but never confirmed the new deduction amount with Social Security. The system sees the change in Medicare's database, sees that Social Security's file doesn't match, freezes the check, and waits for clarification. Even something as simple as an address change can trigger the new rule if it hasn't been verified through official channels. And this affects everyone, regardless of which payment schedule you're on. If you get your check on the 1st because you're on SSI, this is especially urgent because SSI payments are the first to process each month. If you get your payment on the 3rd because you started receiving benefits before 1997, this rule applies to you too. And if you're on the Wednesday schedule based on your birth date, this can still disrupt the first payment of the year and potentially create confusion for months afterward. Now, let me give you some real examples from people who have already experienced problems similar to what this new rule is designed to prevent. A viewer from Ohio wrote in saying she didn't think her information needed updating because her bank hadn't changed in years, but SSA had marked her file as incomplete because her phone number was disconnected and they couldn't reach her for verification. She had no idea there was even a problem. Her payment was delayed for 12 days while she sorted it out. Another viewer in Texas didn't report a disabled adult child's income update because they thought it was too small to matter. That tiny oversight triggered a hold on both of their January benefits. It took them 2 trips to a field office and hours on hold with the 800 number to fix it. These are the kinds of problems SSA is trying to prevent with the new rule, and that's why they're urging everyone to complete this step now, instead of waiting for a letter or email notification that might come too late. Here's what SSA wants you to do before January 1st. Log in to your My Social Security account or call your local field office and confirm your information is correct. Check your bank routing and account numbers character by character. Look at your address and make sure it matches what's on file. Confirm your phone number is current and working. Review your Medicare premium deduction and verify the amount is accurate. If you're on SSI, make sure your income and resources are up to date, because SSI has strict monthly limits that must be reported. If anything has changed during the year, even slightly, update it now before the new rule scans your file automatically. Because once the calendar hits January 1st, the system stops giving warnings and starts enforcing the rule. Any mismatch, any missing detail, even something that looks small to you, can automatically place your payment on hold. And here's the part that should wake everyone up. The SSA system doesn't know who updated their information or who forgot. It only knows whether your file matches the verification database. If it doesn't, the payment won't release. It's that simple and that strict. The clock is ticking, and for millions of people who depend on these checks for rent, food, medical bills, and daily survival, even a short delay can cause real panic and genuine hardship. You don't deserve to start your new year worrying about whether your money will show up. That's why taking this step now, today, matters so much. In the next part, I'll walk you through what happens after January 1st, the warning signs to watch for if something goes wrong, the scams that always appear during big rule changes, and what this update means for 2025 and beyond. Let's get into it. Now, let's talk about what happens after January 1st, because this part is just as important as the rule itself. Once the new system activates, Social Security will begin running automatic verification checks every time a payment is processed. That means your information won't just be checked once at the beginning of the year. It will be checked over and over throughout the year to make sure your file stays accurate and compliant with current regulations. If something changes during the year and you don't report it promptly, the new system will catch it. If your bank updates your account number, if your address changes, if your income or resources shift, or if your Medicare premiums adjust, the system will scan your file again and flag anything that doesn't match their records. This is the new reality of Social Security's modernization plan. Continuous monitoring, continuous verification, continuous compliance. And many people don't realize this, but January isn't just a reset month. It's the moment when the SSA clears the slate and prepares for the entire year ahead. If your file is clean when the new rule activates, you're safe and protected. If it's not, the delays you would normally fix in a week could stretch much longer because so many people will be calling the SSA at the same time. Overwhelming phone lines and field offices. Now, here's the warning you need to hear. Big rule changes always attract scammers. They know people are anxious. They know people are confused. And they love moments like this because they use fear to trick people into making mistakes or giving up sensitive information. So remember this very clearly. SSA will never call you out of nowhere demanding money or threatening to suspend your benefits. They will never ask for your full bank information over the phone. They will never threaten your benefits if you don't act immediately. And they will never text you asking for personal details or Social Security numbers. If you get a message like that, it's not SSA. It's a scammer trying to take advantage of the January rule change and the confusion surrounding it. If SSA needs something from you, they will send an official letter through the mail or ask you to log into your secure My Social Security account. Always go directly to the official SSA website by typing it into your browser. Never click random links in emails or text messages. Protect your information like it's cash, because in a moment like this, it literally is. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture and what this means for the future. This rule is part of a larger shift happening inside Social Security. Over the next 2 years, SSA is moving toward faster processing, stricter verification, and more automated decision-making. Some lawmakers support these updates, saying they reduce errors, prevent fraud, and speed up legitimate payments. Others criticize them, saying automation could be too harsh on seniors and disabled Americans who struggle with online systems or don't have easy access to technology. But no matter where the debate goes politically, one thing is absolutely clear. The rules are tightening, the checks are getting stricter, and beneficiaries will need to stay more aware than ever before. The days of assuming everything in your file is correct and that SSA will just figure it out are over. The system now requires accuracy at every step, and the burden of maintaining that accuracy increasingly falls on the beneficiary rather than the agency. And here's the good news. You don't have to be afraid of these changes. You just have to stay informed and proactive. If you take a few minutes to confirm your information now, you'll walk into January with confidence, your payment will be protected, your file will be clean, and you'll avoid the stress that so many people will run into simply because they didn't know this update was coming or didn't think it applied to them. Let me also address something important about timing. Some people might think, well, if I miss the January 1st deadline, I can just fix it in January. Technically, yes, you can. But here's what happens. If your file gets flagged on January 1st, your payment gets held. Then you have to call SSA, wait on hold for potentially hours, explain the situation, submit updated information, and wait for it to be processed. During peak times, like early January, that process can take days or even weeks. Meanwhile, your rent is due, your bills are piling up, and you're stressed about money. Compare that to spending 10 minutes right now verifying your information while the system is still accepting updates smoothly. Which sounds better? The choice is obvious. Prevention is always easier than correction, especially when dealing with federal bureaucracy. Now, let me walk you through the specific warning signs to watch for if you think something might be wrong with your file. First, if you try to log into your My Social Security account and see any alerts or messages about incomplete information, take that seriously. Don't ignore it thinking it will go away. Second, if you receive a letter from SSA asking you to verify or update information, respond immediately. Those letters aren't suggestions, they're requirements. Third, if your payment doesn't arrive on your normal date in January, don't wait and hope it's just a processing delay. Contact SSA right away. The sooner you catch a problem, the faster it gets resolved. And fourth, if you've had any major life changes this year, moving, marriage, divorce, death of a spouse, change in income, change in living arrangements, assume your file needs updating even if you think you already reported it. Double check to be absolutely certain. So, before you close this video or move on with your day, remember the one message that matters most. Do the required step before January 1st. Check your information carefully. Confirm that everything matches exactly what SSA has on file. Protect your benefits and start the new year the right way without stress, without delays, without problems. Here's a simple checklist you can follow right now. Number 1, log into your My Social Security account at ssa.gov. If you don't have an account yet, create one today. It takes about 10 minutes and gives you direct access to your information. Number 2, verify your bank account and routing numbers. Make sure they're exactly right, down to every digit. One wrong number can derail your entire payment. Number 3, check your mailing address and phone number. Make sure SSA can reach you if they need to. Number 4, review your Medicare premium deductions. If you're on Medicare, make sure the amount being deducted matches what Medicare says you should be paying. Number 5, if you're on SSI, verify that your income and resources are accurately reported. If anything changed this year, report it now before the system catches it and flags your account. Number 6, if you use a representative payee, make sure they're also aware of this rule and have verified the information on their end. And number 7, keep a record of when you checked your information and what you verified. Take screenshots if possible. This creates a paper trail that protects you if any questions come up later. If you found this helpful, make sure you subscribe and stay with me. I'll keep you updated on every change, every new rule, every opportunity, and every warning that affects your Social Security, SSI, or SSDI. You're not alone in this. We get through these changes together. The system can be confusing, the rules can be complicated, but when you have clear, accurate information, you have power. Stay informed, stay prepared, and take care of yourself. Remember, you earned these benefits through years of work and contributions. You deserve to receive them on time, every time, without unnecessary stress or complications. This new rule might seem like one more hassle, but it's actually designed to protect you in the long run by catching errors before they become major problems. So, take action today. Don't wait until December 31st. Don't assume everything is fine. Take 10 minutes right now to verify your information and give yourself peace of mind heading into the new year. Your future self will thank you. And if you know someone else who receives Social Security, SSI, or SSDI, share this information with them. They need to know about this rule too, and you could be the person who saves them from a delayed payment and all the stress that comes with it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for trusting me with this important information, and I'll see you in the next update. Stay strong, stay informed, and remember, we're in this together.